Diecast Mania here with a review of the North Scott 385CL hydraulic excavator in 1/64 scale. First of all, this review was requested by Zaxxas 1000K and Matchbox Emergency. Please visit their channels as well, if you please. First of all, this model is very nice for the price. The tracks are rubber, but they move fairly nicely. They move fairly nice and smooth. The hydraulics on this model, once I first got it, they're very smooth. And they'll stay in any position that you put them in. So it's good for stop motions. A little detail about the cab guard. It's actually plastic. Looks pretty nice. So the cab insert isn't really much. The model has a window up on the top so you can view up. Say you had your bucket all the way like this and you're trying to load a really big dump truck. You could see where you're dumping it, and it's also to allow more light into the cab. Over here, there's a motor of some sort. And over there is your cat logo and 385CL. I really like the modern cat logo on the back. It's nice and big and striking. There's some bolt detail here. And there is a little bit of detail here with the plastic lifting eye. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to get a nice view. The plastic lifting eyes. You can see it there, right there. Here's the die-cast exhaust pipe. At least I think it's die-cast. Not too sure. They have painted rivets, painted boom lights, Power Edge Cat logo. The bucket curls out a lot, just like the real thing. And it curls in all the way like the real thing. This is a pretty realistic model for 1/64 scale. Over here is some etched out grills. Some etched anti-slip pads that are casted in. I'm going to turn the model on its side. Sorry about that. Over here some pumps of some sorts. Hydraulic intake area. I think that little knob is the fuel intake. Swing motor in there where the boom mount is. Again, this has the exact same boom mount on this excavator as the 974 LeBaer, which I'll bring in just for a second to show you how alike the boom mount systems are on these machines. So that's the comparison of the boom mount system. And the 385CL has pretty good detail. It has black hydraulic cylinders, rubber tracks, and the digging depth is impressive for 1/64th scale. So I'll just set it aside for a little bit just to show you how impressive this digging depth is. Even better than the Hitachi, Hitachi 450 that's unaltered. Definitely better. So now we're going to have a size comparison next to a 1/50th scale model, as you all know. The Zaxxas 450 LC. Many people have this, so if you don't have the 385CL, you could have, many people have the 450. This would be a good comparison. If you're going to have a diorama and put them next to each other, that probably won't be a good idea. Because the 450 makes the 385 look like a 320 or a 330, or maybe even a 315. There's a pretty big size difference. Of course, the bucket on the 385 is much smaller than the bucket on the 450. I think if you took off the bucket on the 385, it could fit right inside the 450's bucket. So that's the size comparison. And in case you don't have a 450 and you're looking for just any old excavator model, here's the 974 Liebherr. So there's what the excavators all look like together. So it's a pretty big size difference. So if you were looking to buy this model and you have a 974 or a 450, you could actually tell how big or small the model would be. And the final thing is the catwalks. There's a little step there. You can go onto the catwalk, and you can see how the texture is there. There's a catwalk on both sides, which is pretty cool. And that pretty much ends this review of the fine Norscot 385CL, and this model is recommended.